Okay, this is coming like really, really late, but it's because all the stuff with Canvas was glitching and I had to catch up on so much work, and my Canvas is still low key glitching and it's like just being really funky and weird. So, this is coming really late, and I hope this posts. I don't even know if I'm gonna get credit for this assignment or not, but I do have a lot of thoughts on this week's podcast episode. My first thought is at the very start, they talk about how people talk but they don't do. People in towns, people in cities, they protest, they march, they do this and that, and they do a lot of talking, they don't do a lot of doing. And when it comes to like actual stuff, they kind of just play bystander. They don't want to get involved, they don't want to have to testify, they don't want to do this and that, but they will talk a lot about justice. But then they don't actually participate in the process of justice if it comes down to it where they need to be doing it. So I thought that was really interesting. When there was a segment where they talked about how the detectives were talking to Devon, or I think that's how you pronounce his name. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. Anyways, they were talking about how the detectives were talking to Devon, and they kept referring to him as the baby killer, and kept straight up just telling him that he is a baby killer. And I was like, wow, this is some psychology Jedi mind trick. It was crazy. It was like they were straight up being like, you are a baby killer. That's you. Like, that's all you. You're done. You're cooked. You're getting put away for good. Like, it just felt really like, wow. I was like, okay, let's take a step back, let's calm down. My next point was that the statements and lineups seemed a little coerced. And I know that that's like really controversial, but like the way that that ID lineup was playing out with the landscaper was really weird. Like, them being able to show multiple times of the same guy was kind of crazy. The ID being so far apart from when he was first asked was also kind of crazy. But before that, like, I think another thing was just like, I think this case specifically really woke me up to like the time frame between arrest and indictment, because he was arrested, blah 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 blah, he's put into jail or whatever, and he couldn't post his bond because it was like a million something dollars, and so he was just sitting in there, I think. And I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Like, I can't, like, I think it was for a really long time too. Like, I can't imagine, like, that's just like insane. I feel like, I think I watched a video about it a while ago, but anyways, that's not the topic. But I think it's just insane to imagine that, having to sit in jail for that long, and then being just like one day being like, hey, your bond's been posted, you're out. That just feels like crazy to me. I think something that Devon said that was really stood out to me was how he doesn't feel remorse and he doesn't feel sorry, but he sees it as a way to change. And I think, I mean, obviously it didn't work out that much well for him because he like is still on the streets, but I think it's really interesting that he has that perspective, because in my opinion I think it's true. I mean, if you're gonna remorse and if you're gonna like play the I'm sorry card, but then you don't actually make an effort to change your behavior from it, then there's no point. I mean, I think it should be both. Like, you should both feel remorse and see it as a form of change. But if you are changing from what happened, I think that is a form of remorse. I mean, it's, even if you're not explicitly saying I'm sorry for what you did, you are showing that you do feel remorseful by changing your behavior from that, even if it's not explicitly you saying that that is what it is. Okay, let's talk about the no stitching mindset, because I talked about this a little bit in my presentation on Vietnam about how everybody has the bystander effect and they don't want to report anything, and I think that is so important. I think it shows a lot of lack of trust in the criminal justice system, where they don't feel protected. People aren't protected, let's be honest. Victims don't report because they're scared that the people that are attacking them are going to come back and kill their family and kill everyone they know. People don't feel protected enough to report, and that's the issue. It's like everybody is genuinely saying like, hey, I'm not doing this because I don't want to get killed by the gangs. Like, they're not gonna turn their backs on their own people, you know? And like, the people that did go testify, like, they were like force, like, they did not want to testify whatsoever, which I thought was like, okay. And you know, at the end of the day, you never know if somebody's lying on the stand, which is why I think the idea of like forcing witnesses to come in to testify always draws a little attention, because it's like, you never really know if someone's gonna come and be like, I don't know, because like Devon said, he's like, if the police ask him questions, if he knew, he's not gonna snitch. Like, snitches get stitches in that part of the valley. Like, it's like insane. Also, like, I was not expecting this case to be like Cleveland, Ohio. Like, sorry, I don't really expect, like, I don't hear a lot about Ohio. like ever. Like, at least if it was like a high crime city, like if I was talking about New York, like I've heard so many crimes from New York, sure. Like I've heard a lot of bad over good. But like you genuinely just don't hear anything from Cleveland, Ohio, like ever. So I think that was really interesting. But that's kind of all I have, like, can think of on top of my mind, because I watched it like a little bit ago. I just never recorded the video because everything was going weird with Canvas and stuff, and I was like, whoa. So I've been really busy trying to catch up on all my other work, which is like insane. But anyways, I hope this does get credit, but if not, I think it's fine too. But see you guys, bye.